Hello everyone, welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. My name is Sarah and this is my channel where I talk all about my cross stitch. Today is October 8th, 2025 and this is Flosstube episode 45. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you chose to spend some time with me today. I hope you enjoy what you see and I hope you will consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so appreciative of all my returning viewers. And I'm appreciative of all the likes and comments that you leave for me. You can also find me on Instagram at Stitchy Sarah Reads. My Instagram is different than my channel name, and I link that below as well. So let's talk about what's going on. So I'm running a couple of days late. I usually try to film every other Sunday. Today's Wednesday, so I'm a few days late. That's because I was busy on Sunday. I went to the Cincinnati bookstore crawl with a couple of teacher friends of mine. If you're new here, I am a teacher. I'm a 4th grade teacher. And so it was an event. Actually, I have my little passport here. It was an event to promote indie bookstores in the Cincy area. And there were a whole bunch of locations. We only ended up going to 5. It was a weekend-long event from Friday to Sunday. So we got 5 in. 5 was better than none. And the 5 we went to were fantastic. So if you're ever in Southern Ohio, the Cincinnati area, and you need some bookstore recommendations, I'm your girl. At least the 5 I've visited. We do plan on visiting the other ones though. Now that we have that list, we're going to make our own bookstore crawl and we're going to go see the other ones. So we had a fantastic time. My favorite one that we went to see is the Book Bus Depot. The Cincy Book Bus Depot is, her name is Melanie. She's the owner. She used to go around in just a bus selling books, and I went to one of her pop-up shops one time and bought a book directly from her bus. Now she has her own brick and mortar, and what I love the most about the Cincy Book Bus is that all of the profits go towards putting books in the hands of children. As a teacher, that's very important to me. So I love that if I go and buy books there, I'm helping children. So win-win, right? Anyway, so yeah, that's why I didn't get to film on Sunday. I was busy, but I'm here now. I've been teaching all day, so I might look a little rough. That's okay. It's not about what I look like, right? So yeah, it's been a long day, but I'm here now. So let's talk about what I have going on. I have some giveaway winners to announce. I have a new giveaway. I will do all the giveaways at the end of the video. So we're just going to dive right into some finishes, a new start, some whips, and I do have a little book talk for you today. So let's start with finishes. So I have a SAF, which stands for start and finish. So this was started after my last video, so you haven't seen it at all. It is a very small pattern. Let me show it to you. I'll show you the finish, I should say. There's my finish. So this little pattern is called A Little Baddie. It was from the Teresa Kogut Patreon. She does a monthly ornament. This was the monthly ornament for September. It's stitched up super fast. And you can see it's super tiny. I did stitch it on a 40 count. I stitched it on 40 count Grandpa's Sleeve by XG Design, and I used all of the called for floss. I believe I used all DMC. I can't remember if it was all called for in DMC or if I just used the DMC equivalents, but there it is. It turned out super cute. I turned it into an ornament. I just used the 3-inch rounds from Fat Quarter Shop, I believe. So, and I covered the back with fabric, and I just made this cording from DMC. It was one of the colors in the pattern, this darker rust color. So it turned out so cute. So I think I'm gonna need a Halloween tree now. Excuse me, I always have dog hair all over me. Dog mom over here. So there's my SAF, my start and finish. Oh, by the way, let me show you my sweatshirt. I've got my primrose sweatshirt on, my magic wand. It's got a needle. And then look, it's got a ghost on the sleeve. So cute. Anyway, my next finish is an FFO. Also an FFO, a fully finished object. I believe you saw this as a whip last time, so now it's a finish. Here it is. This is Woodland Witch, excuse me, it's Woodland Witch by With I Needle and Thread. The pattern itself was a little more rectangular. In fact, it went out just a little bit farther this way. So the witch actually was not centered in the pattern, but I knew that I wanted to put it in a square frame. So I just kind of cut it off to make it a square. And I think it turned out really cute. Actually, I think it extended over this way. It doesn't matter. But there it is. I did use all of the called for colors. I did make a slight mistake, but it turned out okay. All of the leaves along the sides here are all charted in the same color, but I charted these two in the right color, and then I came over here and I had used a slightly different color, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. So I just kind of, and the colors are so close together, it's not even noticeable. So I just used both of the leaf colors on the sides, and it turned out fine because I was not going to frog it. Usually if I need to frog, I have no problem doing that, but on something like this, it was not necessary. Check out these little tiny snails. So I stitched this on a 40 count treasure map by Color and Cotton, and those little snails are 1/1. I do not enjoy 1/1 on 40 count, but I think it turned out okay. So I love this frame. So many people asked where I got this frame when I posted it on my Instagram. It's from Amazon. I will put the link down below. And sometimes I forget to put links in my description box. If I ever say that I'm going to put something in the description box and I don't, it's just because I forgot. Because I got a lot going on in this brain of mine. So if I ever do that, just remind me, say, hey, you said you were going to put the link for the frame. I'll go and do that if you remind me. I'll try to remember though, because a lot of people wanted to know where this frame came from. I think it was like $14, $15 on Amazon. So very, very economical, very easy to fully finish, and I love it. So those were my 2 fully finishes. I should sit them back here so you can continue to admire. Got my little haunted house here from Michael's. There we go. I'll hang it on there. And I haven't yet put out my Halloween decorations. I should probably do that soon because by the time I get them out, it's going to not be Halloween season anymore. It doesn't feel like fall around here. I know a lot of floss tubers have been saying it's hot. It's hot here. That's okay. I did get my fall decorations out. They're just not put up. Baby steps. Okay, let's talk about a finish that I have. So I just finished this 2 nights ago. It's not fully finished yet. I'm still trying to decide how I want to fully finish it. So the pattern I'm going to show you is by Stacy Nash. It's called Farm Market Pinkeep. There it is. And here, let me fix this a little bit. I've got my little board today. Forgot my board last time. So I made sure that I had it this time. All right, here it is. Farm Market Pinkeep. I always say this is really big for a Pinkeep. Look, it's like bigger than my hand. I stitched this on a 40 count too, so imagine how much bigger it would be on a different count. I stitched this on a 40 count Stonewashed by Seraphim using all of the called for colors. It's called for all DMC except for 1 week's dye works, which is the green, and that's the color Collards. Otherwise, all called for. I hope the lighting's okay. It's you know, it's what, 5:30 here, so I need to get this video done quick because it's going to start getting dark. But there's my finish. I love it. I don't know how I'm going to fully finish this yet. It's bigger than I would like for a pillow. I don't want to frame everything. I don't know. I have some finishing pieces from Chantel's 141 Design Company, so I might look and see what I have in stash and see if I have something that could work for this. So if anybody else has stitched this and fully finished it, I would love to hear how you fully finished it. So there's my finish. So I'm pretty happy with that. I had no finishes in my last video, so I was pretty pleased to have some this time. I was overdue for some finishes. Okay, let me set that aside. All right, next I have a new start. This is actually a new to me designer. I've never stitched anything by this designer before. The designer is Blueberry Ridge Designs, which I've been eyeing her stuff for quite a while now, so I'm glad I finally started one. So I picked this up. I believe I picked this up when I was at Chantel's 141 Pep Rally last month. It's called Sampler Holidays Halloween. It's just a really beautiful monochromatic sampler. So I have a start on mine. And there it is. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Haunted by Seraphim. And I think it's just turning out so pretty. I'm using a Roxy Floss color in the color Incredible. Incredible. There you go. So I feel like it's definitely a black, but I feel like it has like a hint of blue in it, which is perfect because this fabric has a little, it's like grayish blue. You got some blue modeling in here, so it's very haunted. I love it. So that's my start. I'd like to get some more stitching in on that. It is gorgeous and I love it. I'm keeping this in this project bag. I'm pretty sure it's a Michelle Lee Quilts. It doesn't have the tag on it anymore. It must have fallen off. But I'm pretty sure it's one of her bags. Okay, next I have 2 whips. Not as many whips this time because I have finishes. And this next whip is kind of sad looking. It is another Stacy Nash. I did start this one recently. It's called Blackwater Hollow Sampler. I'll bring it in a little closer. I love it. But my start is kind of sad. I'm not even gonna put it on the board. There it is. There's my start. Just working on that house at the top center of the design. And as you can see, I don't even have the house done. So we need to work on this some more. I'm stitching this on a 46 count Olympia by Mystic Fabrics. That's my start. Hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have some more work to show on that one. Keeping it in my project folder from Creative Country Girls. She put in my my beginning of the stitch of Away We Ride that I decided to restart. So now I have it as a beautiful project folder. Oh, and for the Blackwater Hollow, I am using all of the called for, except it looks like I switched out one of the colors for Moose Antlers. I feel like I didn't have one of the colors, but the rest of them are as called for, and they're all gentle arts with the exception of the Roxy Floss that I pulled. All right, and I have one more whip. Sorry, this is gonna be like a kind of a quick video today. I guess a quick video is better than no video, right? All right, and this next one I love. It's October's. I worked on this a couple of times since I saw you last. The saying is, I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers. Beautiful saying, beautiful picture. Isn't that from like Anne of Green Gables, if I'm not mistaken? I could be wrong, I don't know. But beautiful pattern from Teresa Kogut. It's not like big. I would consider this more of like a medium-ish. It's a 134 by 134. Still pretty substantial size, but not as big as some things. So I'm just gonna hold this one up too. Isn't that so cute? I love it. I love the variegation in the petals of the sunflowers so far. I'm stitching mine on 40 count Mirkwood by Atomic Ranch. And I just think it's beautiful. I'm using all of the called for colors, except I did change out one of the colors. I talked about this in my last video, I think. The color of the Scarecrow's tunic, his shirt or whatever, the called for was just too close to the color of his face. I believe the face is done in Fallen Leaves. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the colors were too similar, so I changed out his shirt to Classic Colorworks Campfire. That's working a lot better for me. It's kind of like a rusty orangey red color, which I thought went really well. So Since you've seen it last, I finished up the little leaves over here, and I've started on the vine and the leaves here. I think that's all I did since I saw you last. So I definitely want to get some more work on this. It would be nice to finish it within the month of October, but I'm not pressuring myself. But it's very important. It's very special to me because my birthday's in October. I'm one of those people who likes my birthday month, and I have to tell everybody it's my birthday month, so sorry, not sorry. So yeah, so there's that. So that's my last whip, and I have it in a painted leaf bag that has the Teresa Kogut fabric that features some of the same scarecrow guys, so super cute. Perfect bag for the perfect stitch. And that's all I've got. I hope I didn't go through all those too fast. I feel like I don't usually get through my stitching so fast, but I feel like maybe it's because I don't have as much. Or maybe just because I've been teaching all day and I just want to finish. Like, I want to make a video, but also I would like to go sit down and stitch some more. Anyway, but I'm glad I'm here with you guys today. I'm not complaining about that at all. So let's talk about giveaways. I have a couple of giveaway winners to announce. Let's start with this one. This one just can't seem to find a home. Let's talk quilting, hands-on design. I've been trying to give this away. I have picked 2 winners and announced their names on 2 videos, and nobody's contacted me. This needs a home. It's beautiful. You got the pattern. Not only do you get the large piece here, you get the small piece, and you get the abbreviated design here for the bag if you choose to make it like that. I'm not going to show the pattern, but inside you've got the fabric. It's a Ada. You've got the floss, and you've got a pack of needles. Come on. So I picked another winner. 3rd time's the charm, right? So this winner is Deborah Dale Q9V. Deborah, if that is you, please contact me. My email address is below, or you can message me on Instagram. Either way, send me your address. I want to send this to you, and I want you to enjoy stitching it. So Deborah Dale Q9V is our winner for the quilt pattern. And then I had these 2 to, oops, I'm moving the camera here. I have these 2 to give away. These are part of the Winter Forest Snowglobe series from Tiny Modernist through Crazy Annie's Stitching. So these are part 2 and part 3. You can still get in on the club. You just need to click on, I have a link down below. You click on the link, it'll take you to the signups. The only thing you'll need to do if you want to get any of the parts, any of the previous parts that have already come out, you'll need to scroll down to the bottom when you're signing up and click on the ones that have already been released that you would like to get as well. So we've got the bear and the llama. Last time I said I didn't know if this was a llama or an alpaca, and one of you lovely viewers told me it was a llama, so thank you. You even told me how to distinguish which one was which, so thank you for that. And got a little sticker in here too of the design. So the bear, the winner of the bear is Sprite 721. Congratulations. And the llama is, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Minth 3N, MINTH 3N. If that's you, you won. Contact me, send me your address. Like I said, my email address and my Instagram are linked below. So contact me, let me know what your address is, and I will get those in the mail to you right away. But while we're at it, I have something else to give away. So just like this pattern, this kit actually, I have another kit, and these came from a lady named Candy. Thank you, Candy. She gave these to me at StitchCon. She was cleaning out her craft room, and you know how it is. We find things that we've kitted up or things that we've started, and we're like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get to that at some point, right? So she gave me all of these patterns and kitted up things to pass on to you so that you can stitch it and it doesn't just sit unused in her stash. And this one is super cool. This is called Halloween Hijinks by Carolyn Manning Designs. check this out. Gotta get in close because there's so many little details. You got the little cat faces. You got some pumpkins. You got a big pumpkin here. I love that. I love how some of the designs are like smaller, but then you got these blocks where there's like more of a larger picture. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Look at this one right here. So much going on in this, and it's awesome. And so she included the fabric, and it comes in this little bag too. I'll send the bag with it. So she actually had a start on it, which you could choose to continue or you can restart it. It's up to you. But there's her start. She got a little corner start there. And she even has the fabric tag still here. It is a Fiber on a Whim 20 count Aida in the color Slate. So there you go. This one does not have the floss with it, but let me check and see. It calls for all DMC. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So if you would like to win Halloween hijinks, just use the word Halloween in your comment and you will be entered to win this pattern and the beautiful fabric and her start and the bag. And I'll send that to you. I do just ask that you live in the United States so I can send that to you. And don't use any comments, any words in your comment like win or giveaway or free, anything like that. I want to make sure that these things go to actual stitchers who will enjoy them and not weirdos on the internet. Anyway, let's do some quick book talk and then I'll let you get back to your day. And if you're not here for the books, this is a great time for you to duck out and you won't miss any cross stitch, I promise. So, excuse me. So like I've mentioned in a couple videos ago, I'm like way out of practice of talking about books, but you guys really encouraged me and said you liked it, so I'm going to give it another try. I have read quite a few books since quite a few to me. To some of you, it might not be quite a few, but I've read a few books since I talked to you last, and so I'm just going to talk about them really quick. And several of these were audiobooks because I read more audiobooks than actual books because I can listen to them while I'm stitching. I know several of you have mentioned to me that you also listen to more audiobooks. So I'm just going to pull them up here on my Goodreads and show you what I've been reading. So this first one is called Shady Hollow. It's a murder mystery by Juneau Black, and it's actually part of a series. So this was the first in the series, and I just thought this cover was so charming. It's about this community of animals, all different kinds of animals. The main character is that fox right there. Her name is Vera, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And she is an investigative reporter in her village there. And she is on the case when a member of their community is found murdered. And she is determined to find out who murdered him and why, and hopefully to stop him before he murders anyone else. So I really enjoyed reading this. At first I was like, is this going to be silly? All of the characters are animals, like, you know, is this like a kid's book? It's not a kid's book, it's for adults, but it's a very cozy mystery. And I just thought it was so charming. The police officers are bears. The murder victim is a toad, a very grumpy toad at that. And it was just really charming. And I would like to read more in the series. I'm not sure how many are in the series, but that would be a fun series to collect, like as, you know, in actual book form, because the covers are so cute. Love it. So I read Shady Hollow. And then, then I read, this came from one of my teacher friends. She brought this in because she had read it over the summer. It's called Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Fun fact, Emily Henry graduated from the high school where my husband teaches. So she's a local author. And I don't know if my husband ever taught her. He doesn't remember. She graduated a while ago. But that's pretty cool that she graduated from the same school that my husband teaches at and the same school where my kids graduated from. So anyway, sidetrack. So Great Big Beautiful Life is about these two writers, and they are invited by this enigmatic public figure, used to be public figure, who's kind of gone in hiding. And now she's ready to come forward and tell all the juicy details of her life story. She's getting up in years, and so she wants one of them to write a biography about her life. However, they don't know who's going to write it because she's invited both of them there, the girl and the guy. Oh, what were their names? I'm already forgetting. His name is Hayden, and her name is Alice. That's right. So, Hayden and Alice. He's already got quite the reputation as a very popular biographer. He wrote a really bestseller of another person that really went over well, and she's kind of an unknown. So, he's really convinced that he's going to get the job. But, obviously more things happen or else this would be a really short, boring book. So I don't want to give too much away, but I thought it was a very cute story without being like too cutesy, if you know what I mean. It's not really a genre that I typically will pick up on my own, but my friend was like, this is a really good book, you should read it. So I did, and I liked it. It was a little spicy. Now, I'm not a romance reader, so my idea of spice and your idea of spice might be a little bit different. So, I mean, not like you'd be afraid for your grandma to see you reading this or something, but there's some hot and bothered moments in there. So I thought this was a really fun story too. And I liked how the relationship between the two of them and the woman that they were interviewing evolved. And, there are some big secrets and twists at the end that are revealed. So that's all I'm going to say about Great Big Beautiful Life. I've only read one other of her books. It was Beach Read. I read that a long time ago, but she has several books. And I think one of them is being made into a Netflix show right now, but I don't remember which one. Okay, anyway, next. So I read another book by this author recently. So I don't know if you've heard of the podcast Lore by Aaron Mahnke. He talks about different stories, like folklore type of things, paranormal or, stories, like true crime stories, like in the past. And I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not doing it justice, but I love the podcast. And then I saw he had books, and I had read one recently that I talked to you about. The one I read was called The World of Lore, Monstrous Creatures. So it's all about different creatures like the New Jersey Devil and, some of the ones you've heard of, and then ones I'd never heard of, which I thought was really interesting. So I talked about that one last time, but I think this next one was probably my favorite. So there are 3 in this kind of like, it's not really a trilogy because they're standalone, but this one is called The World of Lore, Dreadful Places. So, places that are purported to be haunted, perhaps, places where suspicious things have happened, places that have notorious reputations for different reasons, maybe the site of, a murder, I don't know. So lots of different places. Some of them I had heard of, some of them I hadn't. So I thought this was very fascinating to listen to. And I listened to all 3 of the lore books on audio because Aaron Mahnke, the author and the podcast host, he narrates the books. So I felt like I was just listening to a really long podcast episode by him. And by the way, all of the books I've shown you so far, I've given 4 stars too. If it's a book I love, I'll give it 5. If I enjoyed it, it's a 4. If we're getting down into like, okay, it was fine, 3, it's really bad if I have to give it a 2 or a 1, right? The other one that I read, the third one that I read, I think this is probably like my least favorite of the 3, was The World of Lore, Wicked Mortals, which is actually still pretty good. I still gave it a 4. I enjoyed it very much. I just liked the other ones more. So this is talking about people who have done very evil, dastardly deeds. So this one was still very good too. I still very much enjoyed it. But I would have to say The Dreadful Places out of the 3 was my favorite. Okay, and there's one more that I've read, which I found very interesting. This is actually a new release. This just came out on September 26, 2025. I don't even know where I heard of it from, but it's called The Hounding by Xenobe Purvis. And it's a story that takes place a long time ago. I don't remember if it says, I don't know, probably like in the 1700s, 1800s. I have no idea. But it takes place a long time ago. And there are these 5 sisters who live with their grandfather. And they're very odd girls. They have kind of a reputation in the village as being kind of odd. Some people think maybe they're a little more than odd. Maybe they're a little evil. So the rumor going around town is that these girls are turning into dogs every night and, you know, going out and about killing farm animals, attacking people. And so the whole book is about, it's kind of like this witch hunt. Like the villagers at first are kind of like, what? No, that's not really happening. But then after a while, more and more crazy things are happening and they're all like, maybe there's something to this story. So I thought this one was really interesting as well. It wasn't a very long book. How many pages was it? I mean, I listened to it. Excuse me. I listened to it. I didn't read it. It was 240 pages. So it was a pretty quick listen on audio. So The Hounding by Xenobe Purvis. I hope I'm doing an okay job of like telling you what things are about without like giving it away. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Now you might be asking, what are you reading right now? I know you're dying to know, right? So I have 3 books that I'm currently in the middle of, and I'm trying to read like more like actual physical books. Still listening, but I'm really getting back into reading my actual physical books. Now this next one came very highly recommended to me by my friend Janet of Table 11 fame from the 141 Pep Rally Retreat. If you've been to the Pep Rally, you know the Table 11 ladies. So Janet is the reader of the group. And she was like, I have some suggestions for you. This one this one she said I need to read first. She said, you get it. You need to read it. I hate to admit, but I've never read a Wally Lamb before. I know. I don't know why. But this one's a doozy. It is a doozy. It starts off, it just breaks your heart in the first chapter, so be prepared. The book is called The River is Waiting. I think it's a newer release. I think this came out recently. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, 2025. It's new. It's a new book. It's part of the Oprah's book club. So, you know, if Oprah likes it, it's probably wonderful, right? So I'm like a quarter of the way through. I kind of have to take this one in small bites. I don't get a lot of reading time every day, and some days I'm just so stressed out from the day that I feel like I can't handle some of the stuff in here that's happening. So I just take it in small bites. And if it's a day where I've been really stressed, I'm like, I'm not gonna read that tonight. I'll wait and read it another night. But every time I do read, I find myself just reading more and more past my bedtime than I should, which is another reason why I avoid it sometimes. But without giving anything away, and this happens in the first chapter. So it's this family, a husband, wife, young family. They have 2-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. And the husband is really struggling. He's lost his job. So they're down to one income. The wife goes to work. He stays home and takes care of the children. He's supposed to be looking for a job. He really isn't anymore. He kind of gave up. He's struggling with addiction. And as you can imagine, taking care of small children and struggling with addiction at the same time doesn't quite mix. And so something very tragic happens. Again, I'm not giving anything away. This all happens in the first chapter. I won't tell you exactly what it was. But something very tragic happens, and the rest of the book is all of the, the consequences, I don't know what word I'm trying to look for, but just like what happens as a result of this one horrible day, horrible incident, and how, where that leads this family, this man, the husband is the main character, is told from his perspective. and, you know, his story of, you know, grief, guilt, eventually redemption, hopefully. I'm not there yet, but I'm hoping that's in the cards for him. But yeah, I don't want to say anything more about this. But Janet, you're right. It is amazing so far. But my goodness, it's a heavy one. So just make sure you have some tissues handy if you decide to read this. But so far, it's definitely a good, solid read. Now, to balance that out, I'm reading Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. This was my book of the month choice last month for September, and it is kind of a quirky haunted house type of story. I'm not even halfway yet, but it's this, the main character is Cleo. She is a social media influencer, and come to find out at the beginning of the book, again, not spoiling anything for you, her mom dies. Her and her sisters have been estranged from her mom for quite a while, and it all has to do with this house that they lived in where horrible things happened. Supposedly it's haunted by a demon. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know yet. So anyway, after the mom passes, it falls on Cleo to decide what to do with the house. So she's going to go in and fix it up, give it some fresh paint, jazz everything up. She's really doing the whole, you know, home renovation thing in here. And weird things are starting to happen in the house. So that's where I'm going to leave that. But when I need a break from this is what I'm reading. Very opposite types of books. I'm also reading another book that I cannot tell you about because it is part of the Cincy Book Bus Book Club. I've never done the book club before. I decided to sign up this month. They send you a mystery book, not like a mystery, but the book you don't know what it is. It comes wrapped in brown paper, and you know, when you get it, you open it. You can't post anything online, you know, because you don't want to spoil the surprise for anybody. But you know, so you get it, you read it. We have a Zoom with the author at the end of the month, and I'm just really looking forward to talking about this with other people. A teacher friend of mine joined, so she's getting her book soon, so I can't wait to see what she thinks. So it's all like very hush-hush, very secretive, but I'm really excited. And so far I'm enjoying the book, and it is an author I had read before. I'd read one of this author's books before, and if that was any indication, then this one's probably going to be pretty good too. And it's got all the fall vibes, so that's that. Of course, I went on the Cincinnati bookstore crawl, so I'd like to show you what I got. I haven't started reading any of these yet, but I tried to get something at every store. There was only one store I didn't get anything at, just because the store was very crowded. I was feeling very claustrophobic. I just wanted to get out. There were a lot of people there. It's the Cincinnati bookstore crawl. Anyway, so I'll start with this. This was an exclusive from the Book Bus Book Depot. Excuse me. Try to say that 6 times fast. I don't know why 6. Anyway, so this is A Poem for Every Autumn Day. So you can only get it at the Book Bus. And look at that cover. I don't even care what's in it. The cover is gorgeous. I don't read poetry. Not that I don't like poetry. I'm just not a poetry reader. So I thought, oh, that'd be fun. You know, and actually some days have more than one poem. So it starts in September, I believe. You know, obviously I'm kind of starting in the middle. Yeah, it starts in September and it goes to, I'm assuming November, right? November 30th, yeah. So 3 months of poems worth in here. So I've read the last few days of poems and I really like it so far. I feel like I'm getting a little culture every day. Anyway, so what else did I get? I got On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong? I have no idea. But this came very highly recommended to me by my friend Noelle. She is a very avid reader. She's read a few books by this author, and she was like, read anything by him, but you have to read something by him. So this is the one I picked up. I also got, and you're probably going to scream at me because probably most of you have read this book so far. I have not. Remarkably Bright Creatures. And it's going to be a show on Netflix. So I have to read the book before I watch it and look at the sides. I'm a sucker for sprayed edges, so gonna need to read that one soon. Now this next one, kind of a quirky pick for me, but the author is local. She has 3 books out. I had a really hard time deciding. I like to support local authors. Just one of the blurbs on the back here says weird and sweet. Another one says delightfully weird, funny, touching. You haven't read anything like this in a long time. It's called Here Beside the Rising Tide by Emily Jane. So like I said, she is a local author. I believe she has 3 books out. I believe this is the second one. Her newest one is called American Werewolves. But out of the 3, this one sounded the most interesting. It's got a carnival, beach, fireworks, a childhood friend who disappears when they're young. There's a sea creature, a sexy contractor. What more do you need? So we'll see. I'm open to, I'll read anything, honestly. I used to be very very kind of rigid in what I would read. Now I'm just like, you got a recommendation? Lay it on me. I'll read it. In fact, this next one was a recommendation. I'd never heard of it, but one of the bookstore workers said it was one of her favorites. I'd never heard of it before, but she was like, you have to read it, so I'm going to read it. It's called The Book Eaters by Sunyi Dean. And she described it to me. It sounds very interesting. I'm not going to read the blurbs. If you're interested, you can go look them up on Goodreads. I'll list them down below so you don't have to try to remember all of the things I'm showing you. And then I got a nonfiction, That Librarian. So the fight against book banning in America. As a teacher, I have feelings. So I'm interested to see what she has to say. I did recently see that I think there's going to be a show about this librarian and others, all about book banning, and I think it's going to be on PBS. I read that somewhere and I have no idea where I read that. Maybe it's about her. I think it's about her. I could be completely wrong. But anyway, I'm excited to read that. So I've got a lot of things to read. So maybe one of those struck your fancy and you want to check it out. Maybe you have other suggestions for me. I'd love to hear them. But I'm just having fun, just kind of checking out different genres and seeing things that tickle my fancy, things that I probably would have never expected to do that. So I'm having fun diving back into my reading life. So anyway, I feel like I've talked more about books than I have about cross stitch today. Sorry. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I think we're done for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I would love for you to leave me a comment down below, say hi, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.